$499. That's what Goodwill is charging for a cart. I want to bring you along today. Coach was priced at 119. Boots were priced at 99. Come on along and let's look at all this crazy together. Today we're heading into the Goodwill in Chanhassen, Minnesota, and just like the others that I have been into recently, all of their nicer items that come in are pulled and brought up to the front of the store. And as far as the shoes and boots go, they are only putting up single items, so you'll have to ask for the other match to the boot or shoe. So only singles in the front. Their clothing, very nice, nice brands, high prices. Again, don't quite know who they're marketing to when their items are donated, but the store definitely had a curated feel. The other store I really think is a nice one is the one in Minnetonka across from the Ridgedale Mall. That one, uh, I think this one is nicer in terms of how it is staged. They really do a nice job of putting together a store-like feel versus a thrift or a charity type feel. And I really like the charity shops and the community thrift. They can be a little messy. That's okay with me. This one definitely looks to be more of a store. So if that's what you like, I think you would be pleased with this particular Goodwill. This one is right near, it's off of Prince Rogers Drive. They renamed part of the road right by Prince's recording studio. It's very near there, and you can do tours of the recording studio. So if you ever want to pop out this way, maybe pad in that, I really liked Prince, maybe pad in a tour of his studio, which is very near. So all of their nicer items, their hard goods, are located up near the front in the cash register. It was nice. There were a lot of vintage items that they pulled and put up there. And getting into, why are you shopping at the Goodwill? Are you a collector? Do you like to just have these in your home? I don't think anybody's really concerned about in terms of the pricing as to who their buyer is, but I think that's good business sense to market to your buyer. But I'm not certain who shops here anymore. Oh, I love these little mugs. I thought they were adorable and well priced. I'm not sure who shops here, and that's been kind of the mantra of the Goodwills that I have been into and what I have been chatting about when I take you shopping with me. Interesting, I had someone tell me that I talk way too much, and then I set a recent video to music, and then I had someone say they don't really like to listen to music. So maybe just turn me down if you don't like me. It's okay to just turn the volume off and come shopping with me too. A lot of the reason why you do hear talking when people are doing these type of videos is there's music playing and awfully really loud, and you can only use certain kind of music that YouTube approves. Otherwise, they either take you down or bring your video off, or you get nicked for that. I'm not quite sure what happens, but I only use YouTube approved music. So this was cute and not poorly priced. I really did like this. I ended up finding an item at the end that made the trip worthwhile. But the pricing here and what I found was absolutely insane. And you'll see that if you want to skip ahead, you'll see that throughout the video. There's a few items near the end that were really quite shocking in price. And so I've talked about this before. They do home staging, and I'm wondering if some of these items come out of those staged homes when the realtors come in and a new development comes up and they do those model homes. They're gorgeous. Sometimes there's companies around the Minneapolis area that will sell those items. You can go to annual sales of the items that are staged. But these are unique and they're nice. And this particular shelf is really well curated. It looks like you're shopping, at a home goods type of store. So they do a nice job. Someone here in this Chanhassen store definitely knows how to put the items out and make everything look really lovely. So I guess they're marketing too. If you're looking to just update your home a little bit, this would be a really nice place to find hard goods. And some of what I found was okay in pricing, but just not, a Goodwill pricing. So I think that's where everyone's complaining that they're missing the mark, is that the items are donated. Target is local to Minnesota. So you'll find a lot of Target donations. And if the items are coming to you for free, what the purpose of marking it up? So they obviously made a corporate decision because everyone around the country is saying the same thing about the Goodwills, but they're mostly putting their items in the nicer. You see how stacked those shelves were, and then the rest of the items in our Goodwill, it's not. Some of them are done by color. The Minnesota Goodwills, it's done more by material. The wood, the metal, the glass, the dishes. So this was the wood aisle, and not a lot on the shelves. And back to the community thrift stores, I did a couple of videos there. Legacy Thrift, that one was really spectacular. Able Light Thrift, that one as well. The pricing just makes sense for what they're doing. They're getting donated items in and pricing them accordingly. If you're a collector, it's affordable. If you are unable to shop retail stores, it's affordable. And if you're a reseller, it's affordable to buy and flip for a profit. So those are going to be my favorite types of stores to be in. And honestly, I love them here. It's the church rummage sales. I think that's a win-win. They get their items donated. They're wanting to make a profit that goes to a good cause. In my opinion, the church rummage sales, the money goes to a good cause, and it's priced accordingly. And I've gone on the first day of the sales, and I've gone on the last day, the bag sales. But the women and men who work at these church rummage sales, who donate their time, it's always so helpful. They help you bring your items to your car when you go to check out. It's just a really pleasant experience. Not a big fan of the Goodwill bins, but as you can see, if you are a reseller, you can't afford to shop in these stores anymore. So I think those people that were a little upset with resellers ruining it, I don't know many resellers that actually are shopping as often. There are a few. I don't like to, in terms of reselling, have a lot of inventory that I have a lot of money invested in. So in this economy, I can afford to take lower prices. During COVID, when I was staying at home, working from home, and doing reselling at the same time, I was able to command really good pricing. And now it's not the case. I simply don't think people can afford anymore to pay the prices that Goodwill has, and people on eBay that are doing reselling. They can't afford it anymore. So my price points have always been exceptionally low. I don't I like to have a lot of inventory on hand. I'm just not comfortable and confident to have a lot of it just sitting in our home. And oftentimes I'm wondering if it's kind of organized hoarding in a way, because the shopping truly is fun. And it's the best part of this job, is going out and poking around stores and finding things that oh, this is so cute. I liked that. I thought that was adorable and probably very hard to use, but super cute. You can't afford to keep all that inventory, and I think you can't possibly turn it over that quickly to own basement full and garages full. I have over 1,000 items. They're tucked away all through our house, but I think you need to keep your price low and market accordingly, because people just simply can't afford to pay the prices that maybe you used to be able to get. It's not that way anymore. The furniture, they had a marked furniture the way that I did a video where I went into a Goodwill in Maple Grove, Minnesota, and that was the first time I had seen where they did pricing where it started out and they took it down lower and lower. In that particular store, the prices were really good. The pricing on the furniture here in Chanhassen wasn't all that great. It started out quite high, and the pieces on the day I was there still remain quite high. I really did like the look of this round entry table. I thought that was beautiful, but it was missing some of the little pulls on the drawers along the way. It was $2.99 marked down to $2.39. So that's not a real Goodwill price. I thought this roll top desk was very pretty. Again, marked a little high. Legacy Thrift in Crystal, Minnesota. The pricing on their furniture is phenomenal. If you're looking to replace things or refinish things, Legacy Thrift in Crystal had great prices on their furniture. Much, my opinion, but much better quality than what I saw at this particular store. Many of the pieces were nicked and dinged and not in great shape, these stackable tables. I just think you can go to TJ Maxx and Home Goods and find things that look similar that are brand new. So again, the pieces are donated and brought in, and I just didn't think that they were interesting, and some of them weren't really nice quality, but I didn't think the prices were reflective of a Goodwill pricing. There were a couple of these vintage trunks that I thought were interesting. This brown one and also that black one back there on the shelf, but I thought they were a little high. This is the most expensive item that I've ever seen at a Goodwill. $499 for what they call a antique tea trolley. Uh, I I don't know anything about antique tea trolleys. I suppose you'd use that as a bar cart or something, but I'm not sure where they got $499 as the starting point. I looked on eBay to see if I could tell, and that may not be something that people ship, and I did see at this particular store they were keeping their discounts going. Tuesdays color, Wednesdays senior and military, and VIP. Some people are saying that they're doing away with those discounts, and in this store it is still a thing. The trolley. I don't know how. I looked on eBay. I'm not certain where that price came from. There wasn't anything comparable. I did a quick search on eBay. That wouldn't be something that most people would ship, so that's probably not indicative of what that would cost. But $499. That just is insane to me. I'm not sure how it was donated, if who donated it to the Goodwill, but that would be great if they could get that kind of money for that. But that's just misguided pricing, in my opinion. The shoes here were okay. These were not considered the high-end shoes, and they priced them at $10.99, $12.99. They were fine. They do get a lot of donated shoes, and I that was what's on their end caps is all of their donated items. They get a lot of socks and scarves and different like winter items, and it doesn't have any. I'm not sure the tag. It's a really generic tag, so I'm not sure where those get donated. Back at the good priced items again, the high priced items, that was $99 for that pair of boots. This was a Coach handbag that was priced at $119 for that Coach handbag. I went back just to double check that pricing again, just to make sure I saw that one correctly. $99. So there you have it. That's the kind of pricing that this particular Goodwill puts on their shoes and handbags that they keep at the front of the store. This suitcase was also up near the front. I don't know what kind of a suitcase this is. $299. It's really large. It's got straps. I'm not sure if it rolls, but it wasn't all that clean. It's huge. There must be something that goes inside that I don't understand. I'm not sure if that was for travel. $299. These lamps were cool, but that's what they were priced each for these interesting mid-century vintage lamps. So I did another little look around at the higher priced items before I made my way back again to the other section of went back into men's clothing. But I did take a peek and checked a few more prices in the curated, nicer section of the Goodwill. And again, yep, it was lovely. So if you're looking to freshen up your home with some new pieces, I guess I could recommend that you stop over here, but the pricing definitely wasn't competitive. It was priced for the Goodwill's benefit. I collected way back in the day these little teapots. Paul Cardew was the one who made them. Right when I first started reselling, I had sold a lot of those. That reminded me of a Paul Cardew teapot. It was not. I might have picked that one up because those sold quite well. Went back into the men's shoes just so I could take a peek and see what they had. They had a great selection, but the men's boots, $69.99 for most of those nicer men's boots, warm, that were up at the top. I have a thing for these boots and coats where I just feel like in the winter in Minnesota at a Goodwill store, I feel like boots and coats and hats and gloves and warm weather gear should be affordable. Even nice ones, even these, they were donated. I just have a strong opinion on if you're going to not price something too high, how about in Minnesota, you don't choose to price high boots and coats when it's so cold here. And even if they're nice work boots, people are working outside. So how about if you can't afford it? Well, how about if we just price those at a good price? We just had our siding replaced in our roof, and it ended yesterday, and it was snowing here yesterday, and it was cold, and they were out working on ladders and doing a really great job to finish up the project. How about if you make their gear affordable for them? Goodwill. That's my announcement. I feel like that would only be fair. Their beauty products, again, have these unique labels on them. They weren't donated, they're new, but they're not like new from Target. They don't have a Target label on them. So I'm not sure, but I've seen places where beauty items are bagged up. Other people's videos show that you can buy beauty products at the Goodwill. I don't see that at any of our Goodwills. Savers has some beauty items here in Minnesota bagged on the wall, but not at Goodwill. They must throw all of that away. Made my way over to the suitcases just to see what those were priced at. And I know sometimes people have gone on trips and different things collecting, and you'll buy a suitcase and just bring it along and are able to just fill it. I've seen people do that where you fill a suitcase that you purchase for a good price when you're on vacation. So I was just curious what the Goodwill pricing was, and not super impressed. This one was filthy dirty, and it was $39.99, and it was full of hair and marked up. And no, you're going to go to JCPenney's or Kohl's or some discount Target, some discount store, and buy a brand new one. What? Like, nobody cleans them. They were marked and scuffed and not in great shape. So not impressed with how they're pricing those. I guess it would be nice if people cleaned them up before they donated them, but the pricers, maybe that should be something that's done, is when you're gonna ask those kind of prices, just maybe touch them up a little bit. So, and right before I left, I did come across one item that I was really pleased to find. I am a vintage girl at heart, and I like the unique things, and I do pick up certain items. I'm much more particular these days because of the high pricing, but this mask caught my eye right away. I just like it if it's funky and different, and this particular one was signed, and I picked that one up for $6.99, and I think I'm going to do okay with it.